before jumping into the I'm unable to hear. Hemant, okay. So is it the same for all of you, or only Hemant is facing this issue?
I am
Can
able to
anyone
hear you. I
confirm?
don't have any problem.
So then can you rejoin again, Hemant? Okay. Mm. Okay. So before jumping into the discussion, like what is API and what is API testing and why we need to perform API testing, how the API is working internally. So first we will go through the content of the course. Okay. If you're opting this course, means you have to be very clear about the content. Uh-huh. Mm, okay. So Hemant audible, right? Okay, so you have to be very clear about the content, okay, like what exactly you are learning in this course. Okay, so the duration of the course that we are planning is around 30 to 35 days, okay, maximum this days. Okay, so I will try to complete within the 30 days and remaining 5 days. Just if you guys have any doubts on working on something, means just I will give again a revision. Okay, so we are planning on 30 to 35 days. Okay, so in this 30 to 35 days we are learning completely manual approach and automation approach, both I am covering here. Okay, so how we will be doing the API testing using the manual approach, and how we will be doing it in the same API testing in the automation approach. So both things we are completing, like we are learning here. Okay, so after learning completely about manual approach, then we are jumping into uh-huh. Guys, is it not audible? My voice audible, right? I hope I'm audible. Correct? Can
Yeah,
any other?
actually, I'm able to hear you. I don't have any issue with your voice.
Okay, okay. So Pradeep, can you rejoin again? So no, I'm okay. Like my mic, everything I tested only before joining the class. Huh. Okay. Okay, so first we are covering manual approach. Once we are good with the manual approach, once we are getting like holding and some idea on how the API is working and how we need to work being a test engineer, and how we are requesting something and how we are getting the response and how we are extracting the data from that, and of how we are validating some response. So all these things first we will work with the manual approach, then we will slowly jump into the automation. Okay, so this is what the plan we are doing in this course. Okay, so first we will go through the course content, what I'm covering in this. Okay, so first I will take you guys from the basics to advanced level, means from very scratch level. Okay, so from very scratch to like till the framework implementation, I'm taking you in this course. Okay, so first I'm giving an introduction about what is API, what is this API, how it is working, and what is the architecture, how the behind the scenes, how they are working, and why we have to use the API, what is the use of this API. And okay, so like basic things like a base URL and some like what is protocol, what is a base URL, what is domain, what is port, and what is query string. So how the exam like basically like one URL means what are all the parameters we have in that URL. So all the things we will be covering in the first session. Okay, so after that when we will be completing all the HTTP methods. Okay, by using these methods only we will deal with some request and response. Okay, so first we will covering all these HTTP methods, and after that when we are sending some request and after getting some response, okay, so how we will be validating that response. Okay, being a test engineer, that only we need to perform, right? Like whenever we are sending some request, obviously we'll be getting some response. Okay, so after getting that response, whether the response is matching with the expected is matching with the actual or what, so this is what we need to validate from our end. Okay, so how we can do that, with respect to a manual approach. Okay, first for the manual approach, we are using the Postman tool. Okay, so in the first we will learn completely about the Postman tool, and we will work REST API using the Postman tool. Okay, so this is how we are working with a manual approach. Okay, so then after that, once we are done with this manual approach, then we are jumping into the automation. Okay, same thing. Whatever the things we are covering being a manual test engineer, with respect to our API testing. So same thing, how the automation test engineer is achieving that. Okay, so that we will be covering it in next sessions. Okay, like first covering the manual approach, then we will be jumping into the automation. So automation, by using the REST Azure, we are performing the REST API testing here. Okay, so REST Azure is basically Java library. Okay, this is also kind of API. By using the REST Azure, we are automating the REST API. Okay, you have to be very clear with this. Okay, so this REST Azure basically developed using the Java language. Okay, so in the sense we are automating with respect to a Java language only here. Okay, because we are using the REST Azure library. Okay, so then here also same thing, like how to set up the project, how to set up the Maven project. Okay, so after setting up the Maven project, how we have to handle the dependencies in the Maven project, what are the dependencies we needed to handle the REST API, to send the request or to get the response, to validate something, what are the dependencies we need to handle, how to create a Maven project, and how to handle the dependencies inside the Maven project. Okay, so after that, same thing. Okay, all the HTTP methods we will be learning here. Okay, so we will be working with all the HTTP method, because by using that methods only we will be handling each and every request and each and every response. Okay, so depends upon the method only we are identifying that this is the get request. Okay, something we are requesting from the server. So how we will identify that when we are requesting something from the server? Based upon the methods only. Okay, what are the methods we are using, what is the, like first we will check, okay, what is this method? Okay, it is a HTTP get method, means which means that something we are requesting the server that please provide me the information, like that we are requesting. Okay, something if you want to create inside the server. Okay, so by that time we will be using some other method like a post method. Something we need to update, so by that time we will be using put method. Okay, so something we want to delete from the server, some information we want to delete it. Okay, by the time we will be using delete method. Okay, so by having that methods, how we will be writing the code here. Okay, so how we can handle the whatever the request or whatever the APIs we have received from the developers, how we will be handling here with respect to automation approach. So that thing we'll be learning. Okay, and same thing, obviously when we are sending some request, we'll be getting some response. Okay, that we need to validate. Okay, how we will be validating whether we are getting proper like a response or what. Okay, whether the actual thing is matching with the expected or what. So this is also we need to validate, how we will be performing a UI testing, right? So same way we need to validate here also. Okay, so how can we validate that? All these things we'll be learning here. Okay, all the status codes will be working with respect to validation. Okay, so after that, then we will be learning the JSON also here. Okay, because whenever we are sending some request, whenever we are getting some response, and whenever we are creating some data, so we are dealing with the JSON language only. Okay, so we will be learning JSON also here, because whatever the data we need to send for the server, so we are not sending like normal textual way, normal any other language. Okay, JSON format we will be using here. Okay, so before creating the data, requesting the data, anything it may be, so we have to be very clear about what is JSON, how the JSON is working. Okay, and how we need to create any of the object or any of the array or any of the data inside the JSON. So all these things we have to be very clear. Okay, so we will be learning the JSON also here. Okay, so first you think in the first session all the very basics things we'll be covering. Okay, what is base URL, what is a query string, what is protocol, what is domain name, what is port, and one web URL means what are all the protocols it is using, what is the syntax it is following. All these things we are learning. Okay, in the first thing. Okay, after that we will be learning all about HTTP. Okay, and after that we will be covering all the JSON language. Okay, so this JSON also will be learning. Then we are jumping into the Postman tool. Okay, working with all the methods. Okay, so after that, once after learning all the JSON thing, then we will be start working some real time real world example. Okay, we will start automating the Jira APIs. Okay, in the real world how it is happening. Okay, so like by taking the Jira APIs, we will start working on the like all the methods will be working, and how to get the response, and how to like send the request to perform some action inside the application. So all these things we'll be covering here. Okay, so we work with both the Jira API and Twitter API, both the thing we will cover. Okay, and also some authentication is there inside our service. Okay, so whenever we are sending some request and all, sometime what happens, authentication will happen. Okay, for example, when you're creating the account in WhatsApp and all, it will do authentication before creating your profile there, right? It will send you the OTP. So what it is doing, so WhatsApp application is authenticating you. Okay, OTP you will be getting right before creating your like your ID or your account in the WhatsApp. Hmm, it will sending you OTP. After putting it a OTP, then only next it will allow you to perform any action. Okay, so it is performing authentication there. Okay, so we are also we will be having different authentication here inside the while working with the API. Okay, so all the authentication we will work here. Okay, so to perform authentication, why we need to perform authentication with respect to the service, and how we are performing here, all these things we'll learn here. Okay, so after covering some real world scenarios like Jira API and Twitter API, all these things, and authentication, everything, then we will finally jump into the framework implementation. Okay, slowly we will jump into the framework implementation with a so anyway we will be working with a Maven project only. So because inside the organization, everyone, nobody will follow the normal Java programming like project. Okay, Java programming like a normal project they will not follow. They all will follow Maven only, because Maven having a that much of advanced features, and it is helping us to adding dependencies and all very easy in the Maven. Okay, we don't need to update again and again what are the dependencies we are adding here. Maybe if you guys have completed the Selenium course, means maybe you guys have come across this all the Maven things and all. If you are not having a knowledge also, no issues. I will guide you in this. Okay, so after creating the Maven, okay, understanding the pom.xml file and its dependencies, how to add the dependencies, okay. So after that, like how to integrate a Jenkins with our framework. Okay, so we have to integrate the like CI bar CD tool. We call it as a CI bar CD tool. Okay, so how to integrate the Jenkins with our framework, how to configure it. Okay, and how to generate the report from the Jenkins jobs by using a test ng. We are also making use of test ng. Okay, so you guys have like the same thing. Okay, if you guys have a knowledge on Selenium, means test ng will be, you guys will be knowing about it. Okay, test ng is very helpful for the test engineers to generate the reports. Okay, generate the report means what reports? We will be running the so many requests, right? So when we are running that, some test cases may fail, some test cases may pass. Okay, so it is giving us clear, it has to give us a clear report. Okay, which test cases are passing and which test cases are failing, so that being a test engineer we have to concentrate on the failed test cases. Okay, then we will not care about what are the test cases passed, but we will be we have to take care about what are the test cases failing, and we have to fix it. This is what our job. Okay, so before fixing it, at least we need some proper document, right? Like what are all the test cases are failing and what are all the test cases are passing when we are running something. Okay, so this is okay, we are integrating all the like test engine, and we are generating the reports. Okay, so this is we will learn. Okay, how to integrate the Jenkins with our framework, and how to generate the reports, what are all the jobs we are running in the Jenkins, so how to generate the reports from that. Okay, we will be learning all this here. Okay, and log4j, we will be using the log4j in our framework, how to configure that log4j, and how to work with that, how to um, take an information what are the test cases we are running from the log4j. So all these things we are covering in the framework. Okay, so yeah, okay, this is what all the plan. Okay, so we'll integrate our Jenkins, and we'll generate the report from the test ng, and the log4j also we are integrating, and we are completing the one end-to-end testing by using this framework. Okay, so we'll be performing the end-to-end testing with respect to the framework. Okay, this is like project only we are performing here. Okay, So this is what the plan about this course. Okay. So any doubt with respect to the course? Mm-hmm. No. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
as we will be using rest assured tool, right? As it is a
Mm-hmm.
Java package, do we need to
Mm-hmm.
have a prerequisite like Java should be known, or how it is, and how we'll be using Java? It is
Uh,
how much percentage?
okay. I think you're aware of OOPS concept, right?
Yeah, actually, I am from Python background.
Okay.
Currently, I'm working on
Okay.
this REST APIs manually. I want to move to the automation. That is the main reason why I have joined this course. But I'm not sure whether
Okay.
it is on
Okay.
Java or Python. So just I want to attend the demo class.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. See, OOPS concept is similar for all the language, okay? So we are
Yeah,
having the knowledge on a Python also, you can learn easily, no issues. And also I will be brushing up whenever some Java concept, nothing like method creation, constructor, and variable declaration, method calling the constructor, and the inheritance concept. So all these things, I think you guys are aware of it, right? These are very basic and I don't know Selenium and Java. Yeah. Okay, so okay, while we are jumping into the automation, what are the Java concepts is there? I will give like 2 days or 3 days of revision on those concepts. Okay, these basic things only. Obviously, in Python also you will be using all these concepts, right? Like how to create a
yeah.
method, how to access the method, and how to create an object, and how to call some methods using the object, and how to create like inheritance, how to achieve the inheritance. All these concepts, I think you guys have come across in Python also. Okay,
Yeah.
so just here and this syntactical difference, okay, that you guys can easily understand. And I am also giving some 2 to 3 days of efforts for this Java concept. Okay, before jumping into the automation related things, I will be giving a revision overall. Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
And
Oh.
as you will be covering manually by using Postman tool, right? Whether they will be
Yes.
covering the validation of response through assertions and all, or just it would be a manual validation.
No, through the Postman, it is completely on the tool itself. Okay, so that like whatever the validations scripts available in the Postman, that also we can use. And extra validation, if you want to perform is, we can write it in. Okay, but assertion and assertion methods using and all that we will be performing in automation.
Okay, you're talking about snippets that we'll be using in Postman, right? Available
Yes,
snippets.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so in Postman, what are the what are the available snippets are there? That all the things will be almost all the things will be available inside the Postman only. We don't need to write explicitly from our end manually. Okay, but even though we are not satisfied with what are the snippets they are providing, if we want to write some more any validation, if you want to do means that also we can do in that case. Okay, so that okay we will see in the while doing the particular session. Okay, something. Uh-huh. What is the
Okay.
difference between Selenium and API testing? Okay, so difference between the Selenium and API testing is Selenium is what? That is UI testing. Okay, see, we will be having, okay, see, we will be having three concepts. Okay, like first layer is our UI. Okay, second layer is our backend. Okay, this is my database. Okay, so this is my graphical user interface. This is UI. Okay, so this is my business logic. Okay, okay, so last one is my database. Okay, okay, so how we will perform UI testing, how we will perform front end testing, means with respect to automation, how we will perform using Selenium only, right? See, okay, manual means okay, you will be okay. Okay. So, so first, okay, front end testing you will be performing using Selenium. Okay, and now, okay, my backend testing, okay, my business logic is there here. Okay, so that also we need to test, right? So that is what API testing. Okay, backend testing is nothing but API testing. Okay, front end, obviously whatever the front end graphical user interface is there, that we will be performing by using the Selenium front end testing. Okay, so backend testing also we need to add it, right? We need to test it, right? So that is what API testing. Okay, so API testing is nothing but backend testing only. Whatever the logic developers are writing in the business logic, whether it is performing properly or what. So that is what we are testing here. Okay. So this is what backend testing is nothing but a API testing. This is what difference. Okay. So if you want to, work with a front end means that you are learning the Selenium, but you have to add it the backend how this logic is working, whether the logic is working properly or not. That you have to add it, right? So that is what a backend testing is nothing but API testing. Okay. Okay. So now, okay. So what is API, guys? Now, so just we will understand with respect to small example. Okay. So what is API? Okay. So API stands for Application Programming Interface. Okay. So if you go online and search for some Wikipedia definition or go to a book, you will find the definition of API. Okay, but which is technically correct. But however, it is very difficult to understand from this definition what exactly API is. Okay, so this is what happens. You will be end up with so many question mark inside your head. Okay, so I will make you very simple for you guys to understand what exactly API is, okay, and why do we need it, okay. So API stand for Application Programming Interface, okay. So what it will do, give some attention, okay. API essentially hmm, okay. So okay, so give some attention, okay. So application programming interface, okay. So API essentially is a component that enables communication between two different applications, and these two different applications can be completely different from each other. Okay, so okay, let me understand you guys what is this exactly. Okay, so say suppose here one application is there. Okay, so here I have an application. Okay, this is one application and this is one application. Okay, so this application, what it is doing, so maybe this application developed over a Linux platform. Okay, so this application is developed over the Linux platform. Okay, and using the Java language, and it is using the database as a Oracle. Okay. Shit. Java language, and it is using it as a Oracle. Database is a Oracle. Okay. And one more application is there. Maybe the platform for this is Windows. Okay, and maybe it is developed by using .NET. Okay, and maybe it is using database as a SQL server. Okay, so this is one application and this is one application. This is application 1 and this is application 2. Okay, so this application is developed by using a Java language, and this application developed using the Linux. Okay, and this the platform is Linux, and this is the platform is Windows, and it is using Oracle as a database, and this is using SQL as the database. Okay, so now comes the question that how these two applications will communicate with each other. Is it possible these two applications to communicate with each other? Just generally I'm asking, guys. Okay, is it possible these two applications to communicate with each other? Huh? So
Not
communicate.
directly, but using API.
Okay, so these two application cannot communicate each other directly. Okay, because this is using some other language and this is using some other language. For example, okay, I'm speaking in English. Okay, if you guys only able to understand some language like a German or a French, means whatever the thing I'm speaking is not able to understand from you guys. Okay, so same way this application is using Java language. Okay, it is understood only for the Java language. It can able to understand only Java language. Okay, so this is able to understand only .NET language. Okay, so now whatever the request this application is sending, this application is having full question mark in Z what he is talking. Okay, and whatever the response this application is sending back, this application full question mark in Z like what he is responding. Okay, so this communicate like direct communication is not possible. Okay, but through API it can be achievable. Okay, through API. So here okay, exactly where we are making use of the API concept. Okay, through API we can achieve this. Okay, so this is way this API enabling the communication between these two application. Okay, so now there may be a question for you guys. Okay, so this is Java and this is a .NET. Okay, with this API we are enabling the communication, means what is exactly in which language it has been built, so that this both can able to understand it, right? So these all the things in the going session will be learning. Okay, I ask you like I've given you idea, right? Like JSON we will be learning. Okay, so JSON is the uh, things so which is helping us to achieve all these things, because we are sending the data and getting the response, all the things we're using the JSON data only. Okay, so those things and all we will learn later, but in this workshop just understand that how this API is working and why we need it exactly. Okay, so we this two application is unable to communicate with each other, so that's why to make it possible, so we are enabling this API, we are including this API. So this API is enabling the communication between these two application. Okay, so this is just a basic example. Okay, so now we will try to understand this by a general example, by taking one more general example, because there are so many people, the so many students who are joined now as very new to this concept. Okay, So let's make them to understand by giving a general example, okay, how exactly it is working. So now what we will do is, okay, suppose you're going to the restaurant, okay, so this is one restaurant now. Okay, you're going to the restaurant and you will order the food, and this is a kitchen here, okay, so this is the kitchen here, and here the person is there, he is going to the restaurant and he is ordering the food.
हाँ
Please mute yourself.
बोलो
What's that?
बस इधर आया हुआ, रवि का क्या
Okay. So you're going to the restaurant and you will order the food and kitchen will serve the food, okay, so this is the kitchen, okay, so this kitchen will serve the food, okay. However, there's a person involved in this communication, okay, so there's a person involved in this communication before ordering the food and getting back orders from the kitchen, okay. So who takes the order from you and go to the kitchen and place your order and then takes the food and then provides your order, okay. So here there's a person in between this communication, so this person is nothing but waiter, okay. So what he is doing is taking the order from you and is going to the kitchen and is placing your order, and then is serving back, okay, is coming back and is serving back to the customer, okay. He's checking the request and is proceeding here. So he's the waiter. Okay. Okay. So this person is the waiter and we have a waiter here. Okay. And the waiter takes your order and goes to the kitchen, and then from the kitchen brings your order and places the food on your table. Okay. Mm, 1 second, guys. I will tell you all those things. Okay. Yeah, about the course and all, I will tell you detailedly after this explanation. Okay, just wait for 2 minutes. Just listen what I'm telling now. Okay, just try to understand how it is working. Okay, so then what happens? So this waiter is enabling the communication between you and the kitchen. Okay, so this is how API is also working here. Okay, okay, you're going to the kitchen and you're telling some, you're placing some order. This waiter is taking that and is going back to the kitchen and is placing your order, and from the kitchen is bringing back that order and is serving the food, whatever the food you have ordered. Okay, so here this waiter is enabling the communication between you and the kitchen, okay. So now you might get a question, what is this importance of this waiter, what is the importance of having this waiter here, what is the importance of having this person here, okay. So even we can also go directly to the kitchen and place my order and take my food, right? So that is true, okay. Even instead of this waiter here, we can also go directly to the kitchen and place our order and we can get the order and we can have the food, okay. So that is also possible, yeah, that is true. But okay, but take a scenario like this, okay. Maybe you can speak and you can understand the English, okay. You can speak and you can understand the English language, okay. But the person who is the like chef, okay, who is in the kitchen speaks only German and only understand the German language, okay. So now it is very difficult you to communicate with this person, okay. You're very hungry now, okay. So it's very difficult you to go to this person and communicate with this person and get the work done, Okay, because he knows only German, but you don't know the German. You knows only English. Okay, so whatever the request you are like telling him, he is not able to understand. Maybe you like you're telling him to prepare a dosa. Maybe he prepared some idli and he is giving you back because he is not able to understand properly. Okay, and whatever the response he is sending, also you're not able to understand it. Okay, so that's why in the middle, okay, we are enabling a waiter person here. Okay, so he is communicating, from you, and he is taking the request, and he is sending this request to the kitchen, and the chef like he's able to understand whatever the request he is sending, this waiter is telling to him, and he prepares that and he'll get back the response. Okay, so this is how the API is very important when we are working with too many application. So whenever all the application in like in the things, okay, whatever the application you take, none of the application has built in the same language. Okay, we have so many application, each and every application has built in this different languages. Okay, so how we are making, like, how we are understanding that application information in our application by making use of the API only. Okay, so now, okay, so this is one example. This is very general example. Okay, so now take an example. Okay, I will show you by taking it a system. So now, okay, I want to book a flight. Okay, I want to book some flight. So now what I'm doing, I want to travel from flights from Bangalore to Hyderabad. Okay. Okay, when I'm searching like this, I will be getting so many response here. See here. Okay, there's so many options I'm getting here. Okay, so let me click on this make my trip. Okay, I'm clicking on this make my trip. Second, guys. What? Okay, so here have a from detail, here have a to detail, and here I have a huh. Here I have a from detail, that is Bangalore, and here I have a to detail, and here I have a particular date which on which date I have to depart. Okay, so okay, so now, and other information we'll be having, other details we'll be having. Okay, so now, okay, I want to travel from Bangalore to Hyderabad on 23rd March. Okay, so okay, I'm clicking on the search. Okay, so here I have got a information from different airlines. Okay, so we have a Air India, and we have a Go First, we have a Indigo. Okay, we have a, okay, so we are getting the information from different airlines. Okay, so now think how we are getting this information. This Air India and Go First and Indigo, okay, these are also a one application, right, one website. Okay, from this website how we are getting the information in this make my trip. Okay, so this is a airline service websites, correct? Air India and Indigo, Go First. Okay, so how we are getting this information in this make my trip? Okay, okay, so now, so let's take in a online, this is my online travel. Okay, this is one online travel application. Let's take it as a make my trip only. Okay, this is an online travel application. Okay, so here we have a different airlines. So here we have a Vistara, and here we have a Indigo, here we have a Go First, and here we have a Air India. Okay, So this is all the airline websites. Here we have Air India and Go First, and here maybe Indigo. Okay. Okay, so this is my online travel application. So when we are trying to book a flight, okay, we will not directly go to the airline services website and we will book the flights, correct? We will always go with this online travel application only. Maybe this may be a cleartrip.com, maybe a make my trip, or okay, any of the things we can go and we will book the ticket. Okay, we will not directly go to the direct airline applications and we will not book the ticket. Okay, so how this airline application information, how we are getting inside this application? Okay, this is the third party. It as a okay, take it as a make my trip. Okay, so how it is happening here? Okay, so how it is happening? Okay, there may be a two ways. Okay, so one way is okay, so maybe we are allowing. Okay, just tell me which is the possible way. Okay, so first way. Now first way. Okay, so maybe this airline application, okay, this airline website maybe allowing this third party to access their database to get the information about this airline. Okay, so so this is the first way. Okay, like airline applications allowing like a third party to access their database to get information, to get info. Okay, this is first way. I'm just possible way I'm telling. Okay, okay, so maybe this for this third party tool, maybe this airline like Vistara, Air India, Go First and Indigo are allowing this third party to access their information from this application from this application database. Okay, to get the all the information about this Vistara, Air India, Go First and Indigo in their application. Okay, so this is the first way. Okay, and next way. Okay, and second way, maybe uh, they are having some source. Okay, all these application they're having some source. Okay, so take this as a source. This is one source is there here. Maybe every 5 minutes or 15 minutes they're dumping these airline websites. Okay, this airline application, maybe they're dumping their information inside this source. From this source, this third party tool are taking the information about their like about their website. Maybe what are the flights are available and what are the flights are cancelled. Okay, every like a 5 to 15 minutes, so every maybe 10 to 15 minutes they're updating in this source. Okay, every 10 to 15 minutes, 15 minutes they're updating all the information about, for example, okay, take an example of Vistara. Maybe this Vistara or yeah, okay, so every for 10 to 15 minutes updating their information about in one source. This is one source. Okay, so now okay, some user is coming and he is trying to book a ticket. Okay, so through a make my trip. Okay, so this make my trip, okay, it has to get the information from this source now. Okay, because this source, in this source, this Vistara and all these airlines are updating their information every 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, this is the two possible ways. Okay, I'm telling. So maybe how this make my trip is getting all these website information inside this make my trip. Okay, this is how. Okay, so maybe this all the website are allowing this make my trip to access their database. That is one way. Or else this all these websites are putting their information inside some source. From this source, this make my trip is accessing the information. There are two possible ways, I'm just telling. Okay, now just tell me, is it possible to do like this? Is it possible to let any of the other third party tool to access our database and get the information about us? Is it possible? Hmm. Just interact, guys. Just tell me whatever you guys are feeling, like whatever. Okay, why no? Why no, thus? Why it's not possible? Mm-hmm. Okay, so okay, see here, just observe. Okay, so here what is happening? Okay, when I'm opening this make my trip, okay, yeah, very good. Okay, so when I'm opening this make my trip, I'm getting all the airline details here. Okay, so what are the flights available, at what time it is available? Okay, Air India is available, from where to where Air India is available, at what time it is available, all this information I'm getting. Okay, so now Air India is also on website. Okay, Air India is also on website here. See, if I give a Air India, hmm, is that Air India? Hmm. Okay, this Air India is also on website. Okay, so all this information we are getting in the Make My Trip. Okay, so how we are doing, one way is, okay, we are allowing this Make My Trip, access the database of the Air India and getting the information about all the whatever the information they are storing in their database. We are accessing that data information from the database. That is one way. Or else this Air India, this Go First, or this Indigo. So these are all the airline websites. They are storing their information in one source. Okay, one source they are storing. From that source, this Make My Trip is accessing their information. Okay, so now we will discuss about this. Yes, whatever the DOS is telling is correct. Okay, so it is highly impossible to perform like this. Okay, this is not at all possible, because take an application, any application or any website. Okay, so whatever the data we are storing in our database should be a very secure. Okay, it's not possible to any third party tool to come into our database and access our all the data as it is highly impossible. Okay, because it is not possible to access our data from any of the third party directly without any permission. Okay, this is not at all possible only. Okay, nobody will allow you to okay, come, you can take happily like that, nobody will allow. Okay, because whatever the data we are storing in the database should be very secure. Okay, so then next way, so then second way, what we have said, okay, this all the airline will be storing the information at every 10 to 15 minutes in one source, and from that source this online travel application is, and this third party are accessing the information and giving all the data to us. Okay, okay, take a scenario, maybe okay, we are trying to book from flights. Okay, maybe we are trying to book a Vistara ticket. Okay, so what is happening, so maybe from just a 5 second ago some flight got cancelled. Okay, just a 5 second ago some flight got cancelled, but in my source updation will happen at every 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, but just a 5 second ago the flight got cancelled, but in my source it is not updated it. Okay, it is not updated it. Okay, so for the user who is trying to book by using this Make My Trip, he can able to still see that flight, and he happily booked that flight. Then they created some mess in between the user and this Make My Trip, and user started shouting, no, it was visible. How that flight got cancelled? It was visible in for me, because here updation is happening every 10 to 15 minutes, but flight got cancelled 5 seconds ago. Okay, but still the user is able to see this information in the Make My Trip, because okay, whatever the updation is not happened in the source, from the source only this Make My Trip is taking the information. So since the updation is not happened here, the updation has happened in the Vistara website only, but not yet updated in the source, because at every 15 to 10 minutes it's happening. So just a 5 second ago the flight got cancelled. Okay, so Make my trip user is also able to see that flight and he booked the ticket. Okay, then the flight got cancelled information he got later. So there's a mess in between the user and the make my trip. How this happened? Okay, I'm not able to get a clear idea, because when I was booking it was visible, so how it happened? So big battle will happen between the user and the make my trip, correct? Okay, so in the real time this is not at all possible to achieve like this. Okay, so that is why. Okay, so how they are exposing their information by using the API. Okay, so this Vistara and Air India or Go First or Indigo. Okay, so they are exposing their information in the form of API. Okay, so by taking that APIs, these make my trip or receiving the information and performing all other activity inside their application. Okay, so this is how. Okay, this Vistara, Air India, Go First, Indigo, whatever the applications are available, so they are exposing their information in the form of API. Okay, by making use of that APIs, this make my trip is using for their business. Okay, so this is how it is working. Okay, take an example of Amazon, Flipkart. Okay, Amazon is also an application, and Phone Pay, Google Pay, this is also an application. Okay, we are integrating Phone Pay and Google Pay inside our Amazon. So how we are doing that? Okay, so we are calling a API there. Okay, and one more best example. Okay, so whenever you are trying to log in into any of the application. Okay, so say suppose, um, okay, so whenever you are trying to, log in into an application. Okay, so you will be having your username to enter. Okay, you have to enter your username, and you have to enter your password, and you have to click on the login. Okay, and also this application, okay, you have to click on the login. Okay, so also this application will be provided one more option here. Okay, so login with Facebook or login with Google, so like that they will be provided, correct? So this is how, being a company, what I'm doing is, for the login, for the authentication purpose. Okay, so I'm telling my developer, okay, being a company. Okay, so for authentication purpose, let's make use of a Google API. Okay, okay, so let's make use of the Google API for the authentication purpose. Okay, so this is how, being a company, it is avoiding writing the code from the scratch for the login thing. Okay, for the authentication purpose, so it is telling our developer like, okay, just make use of the Google API for the authentication purpose, so no need to write a code for the login activity from the scratch. Just make use of this API. Okay, so I think you would have seen in many of the application, when you're trying to log in, you will be having some option like login with Google, login with Facebook, or login with Twitter, login with GitHub, some like that. Okay, you will be seeing some options, right? So what they are doing? So they are, consuming Google API in their application for their business. Okay, so they are just, instead of writing the code from the scratch for the authentication purpose for login, so what they are doing, they're just consuming the Google API. Okay, so Google API they are consuming, and they are making use that API for their business. Okay, so this is how API is, very useful in many of the scenarios. Okay, so when we are communicating with different application, when we are performing like this activity. Okay, so this is how it is very useful, because this Vistara, this Air India, maybe this Make My Trip, all are developed by using a different language. Okay, so all are has to able to communicate, right, without any interruption. Okay, this is sending some request, and this is sending some response by using a API. Okay, the same way with this, with respect to all the application is happening like this only. Okay, so this is just a overview of how the API is working, and how it is useful. So suppose if the API concept is not there, means it was very hectic condition by the time. Okay, so this is how API is very useful, okay? And this API course also, somebody who is having a knowledge on API testing and API development, okay? So it has a huge demand in the market now, okay? Because now you can take any application, everything is on API only, okay? So no one should available. Okay, yeah, you're correct, Das. Yeah, that is correct. Okay, so just just okay, understood, right? Like how it is working and why it is useful. Okay, so taken this real time example, like some when you're going to some kitchen, so some restaurant, okay, you know some language and this chef knows one language. So by the time this waiter is acting as a API here, okay, so he is enabling the communication between the you customer and the chef, okay. So now he is then sending the request and getting the response. So now we can able to hit happily. Okay. So the same way it is also requesting something and it is getting the response through the API and again sending back the response. Okay. So this is how API is working behind. Okay, so this all that whatever the thing being a like a developer, they will be developing like how to achieve these things. How we can, for example, this Vistara. Okay, so okay, how we can develop the API so that all the Vistara information should be sending through that API. Okay, so that this make my trip be able to understand that API and make use of all our information inside this application for this business. Okay, so now whatever the API has been given from the developer, so that we being a QC, okay, we being a test engineer should be able to validate that by understanding those API. Okay, so while they're developing that, okay, they will be providing all the document for us. Okay, so what are the parameter they are using? What are the parameter we have to use for the particular request? Okay, how we have to read that particular request and how we have to get the response. All the documents will be prepared from the developers. What are the parameters we need to use while working with that? Okay, we just need to validate by understanding it. Okay, okay. So any doubt with respect to this? Uh-huh. Course fee will be 4,000. Okay. So the timing we are planning is 6 to 7 morning. Okay. So any certain prerequisite for this course? No, nothing is needed. Okay. Like having like a little bit of Java programming language is if you are having the language like a idea of the Java languages, well and good. If you are not having also, I will be guiding you or I will be revising you what are the Java concept needed to learn this course. Okay, just 2 to 3 days of buffer time I will take to um, revise all those courses like Java content. What are the content is needed for this course that I will be giving you idea. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so course fee will be 4,000 and timings will be 6 to 7. We are planning. Okay, so from tomorrow only we are planning. Okay, so from tomorrow we'll start a demo session for a week. Okay, so then we will start the actual class from tomorrow. Maybe 6 to 7 will be the demo class timing, and the course will be fee will be 4,000, and duration we are planning 30 to 35 days. Okay, like this is the buffer time we are keeping. Okay, depending upon like how you guys are learning, we can finish it off early also. Okay, any doubt with respect to the things? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ma'am, can we get the recorded session?
Yes, yeah. So you'll be getting the recorded session, each and every recorded session, and materials, and I will be providing you all the interview questions for you guys to prepare. Okay. So after this course, you can try if you're planning to switch the company or if you're planning to jump into this domain. Okay, you can easily switch. Okay, I will be providing you all the interview questions and materials and video also they are providing. Okay, all the videos will be shared with you guys, each and every session video. Mm-hmm. Any question?
Madam, do we have more scope for API testing and functional testing in the future?
No, like API testing is also it's very booming now. Okay, like functional testing, yeah, both needed, right? Like, but API testing is very booming in the market now. Okay, like API developers is also having that much of scope, and API test engineers is also having. Like see, by using this API concept, we can automate the front end also. Okay, but by using the front end technology, we can't automate the back end. Okay, but by using this API, we can automate the front end also. We can do that. Okay, but by using the Selenium, it's not only impossible to do the back end testing. The API is, it's very booming now in the market. You can go and you can check in the Naukri and all, okay? So whatever the interview you'll be getting nowadays, obviously they will ask whether you have a API knowledge or what. Whatever it may be a manual API testing or automation, they will be asking you like we have a API knowledge or what. You can just go once and you can just check it. All the like whatever the requirements they are sending nowadays, obviously every companies are expecting this knowledge on API. Knowledge is needed for this course. No, not much. Okay, just basic knowledge is important. Okay, like method creation, calling the method, object creation, accessing the all the properties through the object, inheritance concept, all the oops concept, just basic things. Okay, because we are not our developers, to we are not doing development here. Okay, so having a no like how we are performing the Selenium, right? Okay, they're also having a like a basic concepts of a Java. Okay, basically hoops concept. If you're strong enough in the hoops concept, that is enough, more than enough. Okay, I will be guiding you Java concept also. Okay, so yeah, class timing. Okay, uh can you plan 6:30 to 7:30? Okay, Pradeep. Like we'll talk with management. Okay, accordingly we will plan this. Okay, 6:30 to 7:30. Yeah. Okay, we'll plan. Okay. So I will talk with the management regarding. So how that okay with this timing? 6:30 to 7:30 or 6 to 7. Okay. Okay. Pradeep is okay. Das is okay. Others, is that fine? The timing? Because why I'm keeping this timing, like maybe there may be a chance that some of you guys are working, and there may be a chance that officers may start, correct? So it should not interrupt our course, right? So that's why in peer only we are planning for this timing. Okay, whether it can start or it is not starting, whatever it may be, but at least if we keep like this, okay, a month is also fine. Okay. Okay. So I will let you know. Okay. So anyway, tomorrow we need to start the demo class. Okay. So I will just talk with the management, and I will tell them to inform you guys at what time we are starting exactly. Okay. Because from tomorrow we need to start demo class. Okay. 1 week of demo class will be there. So after the demo class, actual class will be starting. Okay. But in demo class only, I'm starting the content. Okay. So don't miss. Okay. Okay, Piyush is also fine. Okay, okay then. Okay, I will talk with the management and I will let you know the time, and I will tell them to inform you guys also. Okay. If the manual testing knowledge is necessary, and yes, yes, whatever the thing you are performing there, that only you are automating. Okay. So if you are having a good hold on it, it is very useful. It is very helpful you to write a syntax or write any content in the automation. Okay, because what is all the things we have directly in the tool, that only we are implementing in the while performing the automation, right? So if you are having a good, for example, take an example of a Selenium only. Okay, So obviously, when you're joining any of the company, first they will let you to perform on manual testing. Why they will let you to perform on manual testing? Because you should get some good hold on it, hold on the application. Okay, so once you get a good hold, how you will get good hold? By running it, by running the transaction, by running the application manually, because you have to understand it thoroughly, right? After once you are understanding thoroughly, only you can able to automate it without any interruption, correct? Once you're getting the domain knowledge or application knowledge thoroughly, then only it is very useful you to automate it, correct? So the same way, if you work on in the tool first means you will get some hold on it. Okay, we are sending the request. Before sending the request, what are the prerequisite we are setting in the application, in the tool? Okay, so the same thing only we need to write it in a coding format in the automation. Okay. Okay, so automation is also very easy, guys, in this. Okay, so we are using the Rust Azure. Okay, Rust Azure is a library. Okay, so in this Rust Azure we having the same like Selenium, like in the Selenium also we will be having so many interfaces, so many classes. Inside the classes and inside the interfaces we will be having the ready-made methods. Okay, so we are just calling those methods to perform our action. For example, take an example of find elements, get method, title method, and what are the close method. Okay, these are all the methods which is already available in the interfaces and classes. We are just accessing that. Okay, same way here also in the Rest Assured we have so many methods, inbuilt methods. Okay, so according to the action, we should be aware what method we have to use to perform the particular action. So that is what we are learning, and like little bit of coding knowledge. Okay, so don't worry if you are not aware of the coding knowledge, so that's fine. I will take care of it in the course. Okay. Okay, so any doubt, guys? Okay. Okay, Pratik. Okay, so class timing, yeah, I will let you know, guys. Okay, I will talk with them once and I will let you know exactly at what time we are starting. Okay, so but tomorrow, from tomorrow only we are starting the demo. Okay. Okay, so any doubt means you just take 1 minute. Okay, 11. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Having done this course, can I know how many years of experience can I keep it?
Experience, you can keep it. How many of experience you have currently?
7 years.
Sorry, 7 years.
Yeah,
You're totally having 7 years of experience,
I
right?
have total 7 years. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So for the same experience only, you just had this this information, like I have worked on this treasure in my current project, or I'm having a knowledge on this treasure. Like that, you
I'm
can
asking that
keep and you
can
can.
I keep 2 years experience in REST API, REST Assured, or like that? I'm asking.
Yeah. You can keep. No issues
Okay.
in that. Okay, so this is
Okay.
this is exactly till the framework we are implementing, right? So you are having till the framework knowledge means that is more than enough. More than this, nothing they will perform inside the organization. Okay, so till whatever the content we are covering, this only we are able to confirm whether you are a fresher, whether you are an experienced candidate, whatever it may be. So all are doing the same job only. Okay, so this much only we are working inside the organization. Also, other than this, nothing will be there actually. Okay, so by having this knowledge you can keep any years of experience, no issues in that, because we are learning from the scratch to framework implementation. Other than that, nothing is there actually. Okay. Mm, any
Thanks.
doubt, guys? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys, then we'll end up the session. Okay, so yeah, thanks for joining this workshop. Okay, have a great day. Bye bye.